masters in truth and loyalty. Bang out the buzzword, teaching that blind man to say. You might get the best of him, but sure, never for me. Now, sweet talk to beast dog, tail jack, go and fetch your bang. Try that and up, stand born to a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college turned out me. Couldn't get my masters in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, light that fuse and run. I said, whoa, I am my father's son. Light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get
Yo, what is up? Hi, everybody. We just did that whole intro. I just said hi to everybody. I just introduced my boy Scoot, and we didn't have the mic unmuted. Isn't that a shame? Ain't that a thing? Make sure you can hear us now, man, and throw it up in the comments. And thank you so much for hanging out and being with us. And I'll just recap it. All right, it's Tuesday. It's 8 p.m. It's Eastern Standard Time, right? 8 p.m. right now. And where else would you rather be? It's the K-Gun Report with your boys, Swank and Scooter. Jerry had a little headache. He had a tough little couple days here, so he's not going to make it in today. I'm sure he'll be in the comments. But real quick, we're doing the schedule prediction. Scott and I and Jerry all did our own schedule prediction. It is a beer bet, but we have another column for you, the 24/7 BF fam. We are part of the Buff Fan Base Network and sponsored by 26 Shirts. Go to 26shirts.com. Give them all your money. It's a great cause, great shirts, great people, amazing stuff. We made a couple little signings, little moves. We're going to talk a little James Cook. We're going to get into the schedule prediction now. As I was saying, and none of you could hear, right over here next to me, my brother from another mother, right? The most twisted of the twins. My fave, your fave. You know him, you love him. This is Scooter Magooter. Scott, what do you got now that everybody can hear you?
I know, right? What's up, Swank? What's up, Bills Mafia? It's a fun time of year. Like I was saying before, no one can hear us. It is. Millions of fans wait every year to watch our schedule get released. Not only do we plan our home openers, but some are lucky enough to go ahead and plan a vacation and an away game. So it's a big deal. And if we could find some way to make a beer bet, let's do it. I mean, the game we're playing, guys, me, Jarrod, and Swank, we're guessing the right week and teams we play, and obviously the bonus point for the primetime correction. So that's the game we're playing. We see a section. You'll see a section once the screen comes up of the 24/7 Buff Fandemonium family. You guys are going to help us predict what you guys think week to week is going to look like too. So I can't wait to get started. We got some other Bill stuff to talk about. Let's go, Buffalo.
That was like a recap of the recap.
Recap the recap.
Guys, in the comments, we have Patrick Hughes saying, let the good times roll. Dude, the R's are going to be going strong without Jarrod here tonight. I can feel it already. We got Dan saying, good evening, everyone. Go Bills. What's up, Dan?
What's up?
Let's see here. We got Franklin saying, can't wait to see AMD Friday. Hey, man. Can't wait to see you playing down at Reinvention, the home base for the 2024 regular season Rager. Get your ass down there Labor Day weekend. We got Jamie Norson saying, what's up, Mafia? What's up, Uncle James? We got John saying, hello, Mafia family.
What's up, guys?
And we got a bunch of people saying that they couldn't hear us. But if we jump ahead, sorry, Adam's like, no audio, but what's up? Ha ha ha. Dan says, there we go. Corey says, there we go. You guys sure can make a frustrating moment on behalf of myself here, a fun one. I love ya. Let's see. Oh, man. We got Jamie saying MSV score. Yeah, we'll get into Marquez Valdez-Scantling getting picked up by your Buffalo Bills. Let's see. Uncle Jamie's calling out his prime timers already. Cookie's saying he's heading to Houston whenever that is. That'd be dope, man. You gonna wear your Diggs jersey?
Oh, hell yeah. We've got a buddy, Keith Sproul, that lives out that way, so we're probably going to go figure that out. Have fun, bud.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's see. We got Kathleen Carlson saying, hey, all go Bills. We got Berto. What's up, Berto? You've made like every single show this year so far, man. I love it. I love seeing your handle, man. Patrick says, tell Jarrod to take some vitamin R and he will feel better.
Take some Rolaids or something. Ibuprofen.
Patrick Hughes also said this will be the first ever sign language show that we do. Dr. Bruce saying, go Bills, another interesting signing today. Yes, the good doctor is in. If you go over to 247buffpandemonium.com/blogs, you can see a bunch of good articles that our resident doctor, Dr. Bruce McKellar, has written under the heading Injury Report. Go check all that out.
Mm-hmm.
Corey says Scantling dropped the pen trying to sign. That's pretty good. Let's see. Dan says he likes giving the local Depew boy a shot at linebacker, and that's pretty cool. You see all that there, Scooter?
Yeah, that Joe Andreessen, linebacker. Good sized kid. He signed a deal. Obviously, the Bills just went above 90 for their for their roster. They're at 91, so they've made the 90 cut, and he's one of them. So it'll be interesting. Obviously, we root for the homeboys, so we'll see.
Hell yeah. Franklin said, did anyone see Keon with Scheffler talking about snowmobiles? Good stuff. I did not catch that. I have been unplugged, I think, here for the last couple days. I did get the Marquez news, but other than that, Patrick says
I didn't see much on the Keon and snowmobile.
No. Patrick says if MVS gives us some insider info on the Chiefs, then it's worth the signing. I gotta tell you, man. Let's you want to just jump into this right now? Boop. Here we are. The Bills have signed ex-Jaguar and Kansas City Chief Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I was looking it up. I think he's like 4th or 5th in receiving for this past season over in Kansas City. I think they're expecting pretty big things from him. He did have a case of the yips. I think this last season didn't really perform as well as one would expect, except for that last game he played against us. So there's that. But I did really like him when he was in Jacksonville, man. He was one of those dudes that I don't know, not a similar player to like Beasley, but like a similar name that like usually I'm so tuned into the Bills that I don't pay super attention to any other player unless he's on my fantasy league. But he was always somebody that I like half rooted for. So, Scooter, what do you think about this signing, man?
It's let's go back a couple of years ago when the fans were screaming for some size. He carries that. And then let's go back not too long ago when fans were screaming for a guy that could burn you with his speed. We've got that. He's a 4.39 40. So he's got size, he's got speed. He's actually marked down as one of the better route runners in the NFL. He's smooth. I've seen him utilize that wide receiver, the chart. He can run all the pattern, all the routes, and he's smooth. He's quick out of it. He actually creates quite a bit of separation. Was this something Bills fans also preached about Gabe Davis, and then obviously the latter half of the season for Stephon Diggs. So he's providing everything that we screened for in a combination over the last 5 to 6 years. Now you throw in the drops. I've seen stats that only give him credit for like 2 drops this past year. Granted, he's only seen like 30 targets, so that's a high percentage. But I'll tell you about a couple catches that he made. And this is, I mean, he excites me just because he's down in the Bills red, white, and blue. But he had a game-clinching catch against Buffalo in a divisional round to end the Bills season. He had the game-clinching catch to end Baltimore's season in the AFC Championship game. And he's also had touchdown catches. Now, why that excites me is because when it comes to game-clinching catches, that tells me that a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes trusts him. And so I hate to jump on the Patrick Mahomes wagon here, but if Mahomes trusts a wide receiver and that wide receiver is willing to come to Buffalo, I think I'm going to be excited about that. So he's come from a pretty good pedigree of quarterbacks thrown to him. I think QBs like him. You take care of them drops, he'll find himself a roster spot pretty easily with his size and speed.
I think we said it with Claypool, which it's interesting. Like this signing potentially bumps him the hell off the roster. I mean, there's an interesting thing happening, and who said it here? There's a couple. Chris Christians. I think we have a ton of wide receiver 3 and wide receiver 4s. That's not a bad problem to have, man. You're gonna have a lot of competition in camp, and they're doing it on the cheap. This guy started last year. I mean, he started a handful of games for the Chiefs, and they really thought that he was going to be something. Why he fizzled, why he didn't, I don't really know. But he did come through clutch a couple of times, and again, we felt the end of that, which kind of sucked.
Swank, if we're going by a wide receiver by committee and where we think Joe Brady might be going with this, with the 12 personnel and utilizing the size maybe to introduce the run game a little more, are we going to really have a wide receiver number 1? That's the question. So if we're loaded with 2s and 3s and 4s with experience, do you take it? I
think you take whatever you can get, right? I don't know if there's like a specific plan to go into this year without a wide receiver 1, right?
Right.
I think they're hoping that somebody's just going to demand the ball and be so electric and make so many plays that you can't help but not give them the ball, right? And there's so many question marks, and there's so many dudes that look like they were going to be something, or so many dudes that are kind of proven but unproven. Like, it's exciting. I've seen like a ton of Miami content creators and Miami tweets. I don't know why they show up in my Twitter feed all the goddamn time. I hate it. I really hate it. But like dudes that are just like dogging this receiving core, and I'm like, I don't understand what there is to dog. There's a lot of like untested skill here, and a lot of dudes that have performed well, like the same dudes that are talking junk about Curtis Samuel and Marquez Valdez-Scantling and Claypool and all these dudes. Like they're really excited about Odell Beckham Jr. And to me it's like, I'm not trying to put them on the same plane, but all of these dudes are younger. All these dudes, they didn't have that flashy big catch their rookie season that made their career for them the rest of their lives.
Made his career.
Yeah, but like to me, I'd rather have a bunch of these dudes playing up, like knowing like, oh Jesus, like there's a lot of competition here. Like I want everybody fighting for it, rather than being in Miami and being like automatically a wide receiver 4, like no matter what. Whoever's there after OBJ is a wide receiver 4, because you can't take those 3 dudes off the field, right? Like,
right.
So what are you really competing for? What are you really figuring out? I just think it's interesting that, Bean has this way. Like, what do you think if these guys would have signed Scantling last season or 2 seasons ago? I think there would be a whole different tone around the signing. I think people would be over the moon about it. Like, you know what I mean? As far as like depth and like competition, So I don't know. It's just interesting to me. This is not going to be the offensive look of last year. This isn't going to be Diggs, and this isn't going to be Davis. And some of that is a bummer, and some of that is kind of welcome.
Mhm.
You know, how are you going to game plan for this team for the first 4 or 5 weeks? I have no
Right.
idea. You know, we don't even know what it's going to look like. So
And when it comes to the depth, I mean, you got to start asking yourself the question of, in comparison to what it was last year, are you going to take a Claypool and a Valdez Scantlin over a Sherfield or a Hardy? I honestly think I would. Are you going to take a Curtis Samuel over a Gabriel Davis? I think I would too. Because of the separation part and the speed part. I think that's something that's going to benefit Josh Allen better than Gabe Davis did. I love Gabe Davis. Don't get me wrong. And then we got Khalil Shakir coming back. So we start comparing it to the wide receiver crew we had last year. Not only do we have depth, but we honestly might have potentially guys. We'll know a lot better once the games are played. All this is potential. All this is hope and optimistic stuff. But there is potential for this wide receiver core to be better than it was last year, especially after the numbers we saw Diggs put up the last 8 games. Khalil Shakir, our number 3 wide receiver, put up the same numbers.
Yeah. My old man is in the comments right now. What's up, Pops? He says, hello, everybody. How big is he and how is his blocking? We already kind of addressed how big he is, but can you recap his size? And then if you have any insight on his blocking, could you give that to my old man, please?
He's 6'3", 206, 210 pounds. Honestly, I don't know 100% about his blocking, but he's got the size for it. He played for the Chiefs, so he probably didn't block much when he had the opportunity to go out there and run patterns. So,
oh man, Patrick Hughes says Kincaid will be our number 1 pass catcher this year. I will make this a beer bet, boys. Throw Patrick on the board. I think what we're gonna do, and we do this during the off season a lot, is like, you know, we'll do like our roster projections right before cut downs, and we'll do different things like this. We had projections, I think, right? That's how the James Cook thing came about with Jarrod. Jarrod predicted James Cook's all-purpose yards within like 20 or 200, I don't know, something like that. It was really close. So we'll be doing that. But yeah, keep them coming, man. I think that's a completely viable option. You know, this offense like has gotten enormous. Like these wide receivers are huge. And then you look at like a dude like Ray Davis that they drafted too. I mean, you got James Cook, and then you got this bruiser in there. I think you're going to see a very physical Buffalo Bills football offense coming into this season.
Well, they're definitely built to ground and pound a little more, and definitely built for that cold weather.
Hell yeah. Dr. Bruce says Miami loves Swanky. Yeah, man. Oh my God, I hate him. I absolutely hate him. Corey says, don't forget Shakir, bro. Yeah, hell yeah. I was watching last year's highlights, like Josh's highlights. And, man, you can just tell when Joe Brady took over. It's insane. Like, if you just watch the highlights, Diggs and Davis, like, were unstoppable for, like, those first 8 weeks, man. It didn't feel like that in season, did it? Like, it didn't feel like – I mean, maybe with Diggs. But for those first 8 weeks, if I would have told you, like, dude – the way the highlights read, Gabriel Davis was like out of control. Like, you know, he was a monster. But man, you saw that swing happen when the OC change happened, and Shakir was the guy. Like Shakir and Kincaid, they were just catching everything. And I don't know, it's the youth movement, right? Like, I guess I'd rather see the 2 dudes that were hot hand last year moving into this year, getting a little bit of a promotion bump here and being like, all right, do it again better, you know, than the 2 dudes that are leaving. So let's see.
Hell yeah. A little bit of OC understanding after just a half a year now to have a full preseason, off season with that playbook. There's 2 levels of it. There's the level of unpredictability because you don't know what Joe Brady brings to the table. And then there's a level of him having a full off season. So one's got to outweigh the other. Hopefully the latter outweighs the second one. And what he brings to this season after a full year of off season is going to be remarkable.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's going to be it's going to be an amazing training camp. I can't wait. I absolutely can't wait. Like OTAs are right around the corner here, as far as like the next thing that you can actually like tangibly like grasp. And it gets real sad and quiet for a long time between all these events. But
searching for information.
Yeah. Like, look at this guy. Did you know MVS was a scholar of football? Like his great uncle actually invented the kickoff.
We'll have a whole show on that.
Oh, let's see. Corey Blaine says, could this maybe make us sort of dangerous a little? Think about it. We really have no standout to prepare for besides Allen, so other teams won't know what to expect, really. That's kind of the point I was getting at. I mean, it is like, if you want to call it lackluster, like I think other fan bases and some of the pundits are pointing fingers, saying, you know, the Bills are worse than they were last year. And you know, I guess if you want to say that because of Diggs and, you know, a couple other moves, then fine. But I don't know, man. Like, I don't think you ever want to count a Josh Allen offense out. Like, we were talking about this in the chat and all that stuff, but you guys remember 2019? Do you guys remember Josh's rookie season? Like, you know, there's like people that he was throwing the ball to that you're like, huh? You know, Robert Foster, you know, was a hero. He caught one big ball and he was a hero, and we loved him. And he was that underdog dude that you wanted to break, and him and Josh connected and you're like, yes, you know, but Jesus, like, I don't want Robert Foster on this roster right now. You know?
We don't want players that fizzle out after one play.
No, you know, it's a different look, but they made things happen with, you know, like we talked about Cole Beasley. I always loved Cole Beasley before he came here. But he had his best seasons here. You know, he was a stud here. John Brown was a career wide receiver number 2, became a wide receiver 1 here, had career stats here, all because of one dude in his second year. You know, you can go through the list. Would Gabe Davis have a contract as big as it is right now if it wasn't for Josh Allen?
No.
You know, Stephon Diggs, on all accounts, was a wide receiver 2 before he came to Buffalo. Not enough people talk about that as far as I'm concerned. And I love Diggs, but he was a wide receiver 2. He got his due here because of the quarterback that was here and because he's a phenomenal football player. But without Josh Allen, you know, would he be stopping for a cup of coffee in Houston before he goes to Dallas or Kansas City next year? You know, like there's a lot going on surrounding our quarterback and his skill set, the second best quarterback in the league by a lot of counts. You know, I just think to be here in May and just, no, they're garbage. Like, nope, it's over. Like, we've just been fooled by this story too many times. There are teams that have done it and done it and done it and done it and done it. And you're like, wow, that team's good. You know, on the flip side of it, look at the Cowboys. They're always supposed to be good, and they never are. You know, so
they're good enough to come back every year, and people think that they're good. They do just enough.
Just enough. Absolutely. I love that. That's what coaches
But to go back on the Allen thing, I mean, it isn't just one case. I mean, we've had a lot of different cases under our belt to state that Josh Allen has made wide receivers better. And it starts with Beasley, the John Browns, Stephon Diggs. Obviously, there's a couple receivers in there that have only ever seen Josh Allen, but it's like I said, it's not just one case. He's done almost a handful of wide receivers, giving them their best career stat year of their career. So he does that to people, guys.
Hell yeah. Guys, we have 679 people watching the show right now. Thank you so much for tuning in, especially during the slow time of the year. Don't forget that we are part of the Buff Fan Base Network. Go and follow all of them on all the socials. They're up close to 200K on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. So go check that out. And tons of great content and people to get you through this lull of the season. And of course, the hype of the season right here on the Buff Fan Base Network. Also, that means we are sponsored by 26 Shirts. Go to 26shirts.com. Dal Reed and the gang got all sorts of great designs and deals going on. And you buy a shirt, you look fly, you help out a family in Western New York that needs it. It's a win-win, man. And we love being part of both of those things. So
Nice.
it's a great time.
And a shout out to our Instagram followers. We got a handful of people watching on Instagram. It's something new we started last week. So
What up?
keep it going. Pound the like button, follow, subscribe, do everything. Help us grow. Thanks for joining.
That was a really good like little YouTube thing you just did right there. Like smash that like button.
Oh yeah. Just
So,
I've watched so many YouTube videos and all that stuff. It's just like that. Everybody says it. It must just have a login there somewhere.
We gotta get better at like baiting the hook and dropping it out there. Like, do you want to know what we think about the schedule prediction?
Yeah.
Well, smash and subscribe and hit that alarm. Let's see. Patrick says you guys should come to Florida for week 2. Let's get Swank face to face with the Dolphins fans. I would love it, dude. I would absolutely love it. You know, there's been a couple, right? Like over the years here. We've had a bunch of friends from Florida that tune into the show or been part of a sponsor of the show or whatever. We've done some like collaborations with some Florida-based programming, and there's always talk of us going down there, and we just haven't made it down. But I'd love to go. I think it'd be awesome, especially like how roomy,
kick-ass weekend.
Yeah, how roomy the stadium would be, like because nobody goes to support the Dolphins.
You wouldn't have to wait till fourth quarter to walk down and find a seat on the first level. You could do that right when you walk in.
Yeah, dude, you could go sit on Josh Allen's lap by halftime, bro.
Maybe I'll jump on the sidelines and throw the ball a little bit. They might have me come in over Tua. I don't have a noodle arm compared to him.
I said you could just heave it and close your eyes, and Tyreek will run under it like a kickoff. You know, we awesome.
3-step drop, throw it 50 yards. That doesn't seem to be a problem. I can still do that.
Let's see. Jeremy Blair says it almost feels as if they're throwing stuff against the wall and hoping something sticks. A for effort, though. Go Bills. I'm not knocking that take, man. I mean, I saw this one post. I think I was getting to this earlier, man. This one post from a Miami content creator that was like, you know, oh, look at this, blah, blah, this receiving core. And, you know, if Claypool is a flop and, you know, doesn't put effort, and then this guy doesn't do this, and then Coleman is a flop, and then blah, blah. And, like, where it's going was, like, it's almost like picking, like, a parlay. Like, you're betting that, like, 8 guys, out of 8 guys, none of them are going to be good. And I don't believe it. Like, I mean, we know Khalil Shakir can handle what he handled. He can at least do what he did last year, right? Curtis Samuel has been like a cage dog. You know, he hasn't had to play. You know, you got Keon Coleman who's chomping at the bit, Mr. Go Up and Get It. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe. Like, anything is possible. Maybe. But I can't believe out of all those dudes, they can't pick 4 dudes to be out there on a regular basis with James Cook and Dalton Kincaid and that offensive line and not have production with Josh Allen at the helm. I just can't believe it. You know, Tom Brady, guys, we've talked about this. Tom Brady had no names around him for a very long time. Let's see.
Yeah, right. Take Gronkowski away from him. The best teams have a tight end, guys.
Mm-hmm.
The best teams have tight ends.
Let's see. Patrick says if Josh doesn't have a true number 1, he will not be forcing the ball, and that equals less interceptions. Great take, man. Great take. I would be interested to know how many of those interceptions were balls that were heading in Diggs' direction. I would be very interested to know this for this last season.
Very, very good point. Very interesting point, for real.
And
we saw later on in the season when he started using Shakir and Kincaid that he was. That's why I'm not so nervous as I think many people are, is because I saw him spread the ball around quite a bit under Joe Brady's offense once he got comfortable. That's why Shakir did such a good job and Kincaid's numbers went up.
Yeah, I
think you give him the time that this offensive line should. He's growing. He grows every year. There's always something you can pinpoint every year from Josh Allen that he's worked on. He's gotten better at. And if being able to pick the field apart and go down to your second, third, fourth option is that thing this year, be excited for it.
Yeah. My, the apple don't fall too far, man. My old man said out of all New England Super Bowls, there are only a couple standout receivers. Yep. We just talked about that. Absolutely. Patrick Hughes says, "Don't you mean receivers?"
Receivers.
And then he said, "Swank, we need an R alert." Kind of like, yeah, I said it. Hell yeah, dude. I'll be working on that for next week. Don't you worry.
Have a pirate come up.
I'll just Photoshop Jarrod's face,
With a
like
patch on it.
on it, yeah, on a pirate's body or something. Corey Blaine, good point. I was caught up in the moment right there. Oh man, these guys are great. Lonnie's asking if the schedule's out yet. Tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow the schedule. But
just
hang out
came
with
in.
us, Lonnie. We're going to
Yep.
be predicting it shortly.
Patrick says next T-shirt idea: Swank Mafia versus Dolphins Nation. Hell yeah, dude! I love it.
I actually like the Coleman go up and get it. Whatever you've been saying for his nickname.
Yeah,
kind of
Mr. Go up and get it. Hell yeah!
Yep.
Hell yeah!
And you can have like the Tecmo Bowl guy jumping up and get it and put his number on it. There you go. All right.
Maybe I'll just have him going up to get it with Tecmo Bowl players at his ankles. Like,
oh, there you go. Mr. Go up and get it.
Patrick says, "I'm ready for this roller coaster ride."
Running out of space at the bottom of that tractor down there.
No doubt, dude. All right, guys. Here we are at 8:31. We got 752 coming in live. The viewership this year has been out of control, man. And for a dead point in the season like it is right now, I'm so stoked to have all of you guys watching. Don't forget to follow 24/7 Buff Fandemonium on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook. We got a big old group out there that's a good time, and kind of how all of this spawned, to be honest. So go check that out. We are about to do our schedule predictions. Now, Scott and myself and Jerry already did all ours, so they'll be popped up on there. But there is a column that is empty, and we need you guys to help us fill it. So I don't know how we did this before, Scott. I feel like it was like the first 3 teams or something, right? Like if we got commented like that same team 3 times, and that was what you guys picked. So
Yep.
I don't know. We got a good amount of people here. I think we got some good participation. You guys throwing out the comments there. So if you want to be part of the 24 BF Fams picks, just throw it out there. So week one, and spoiler alert, it came out today. The Dolphins and the Bills are playing Thursday Night Football week 2 in Miami. Miami Nation is very upset because it's at night and it's not going to be 300 degrees and they can't cheat and have the sun right on the opposing team's bench and all that crybaby shit that they go through. So anyway, you don't have to worry about that. But if you look on your screen, you can see Jerry's, Scott's, mine, and then that big old blank red column, that's for you guys. So week 1, Jerry has at the Patriots. Scott has home versus the Cardinals. And I have home versus that should be at the Texans, buddy. Did I do that? I might have done that. Away at the Texans. What makes you feel this whole Cardinals thing, Scooter? Why is that going to be a good week 1 matchup?
I think it's going to be a good week 1 matchup just because of the high draft profile of Marvin Harrison. And I think potentially the NFL – oh, shit. The clicking buttons here. The NFL knows that the Buffalo Bills bring a lot of viewership. Doesn't matter where they're playing. So Cardinals, Bills. I wanted to have a home game, so something nice for Buffalo before they traveled to Miami. So I just picked the Cardinals. I couldn't find anywhere else I'd put them. So I figured probably the most unpredictable time of the year is the first 4 weeks. So throw one of those poor played teams then.
Yeah. Gotta get you to click off week 4 there in the blue. I think you got that clicked, buddy.
Oh, I think that's you.
Is it?
Yeah, might be you.
Might be.
I don't know.
Nope, it's
but
you.
You know, Jarrod always says this, and sometimes we agree. These preseason games, there were only 3 of them this year for the last couple of years. and a lot of these starters don't play. So sometimes the first 3 to 4 weeks of the NFL regular season is kind of a getting yourself going. There's been a lot of upsets in these first 4 weeks, and then the teams finally turn into themselves. So that's more the reason why I did that.
I just thought it would be a good storyline for week 1, get people back into the season. I mean, everybody's usually jonesing, but I mean, Allen versus Diggs, that's going to be a big marquee when the Bills face the Texans. Hit us up in the comments, guys. Who do you think the Bills are playing week 1 for their schedule? Patrick Hughes is already in with a vote for the Jets. So,
and like you said, Swank, guys, we're going to take the first 3 votes. So the first 3 teams that are on there that you guys choose is the team we'll fill it up. And next week we'll pull this up to see how the accuracy was. Accuracy.
Let's see.
So Swank, while those are coming up,
yeah,
what do you think about? Is the NFL favoring and babying the Buffalo Bills by giving this the Thursday night football game, or is it just Miami, not only for some reason being upset that they're getting a primetime game, but are they more pissed off that now they're potentially going to have to travel to Buffalo come wintertime? Or is it a combination of all of that?
I think they just cry, dude. They like I don't know. It's the fan base more than anything. Like it just I don't know. Like what would we say? Like every Miami content creator, it's like they cry and they yell and that's it. Like that's the recipe,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like you were telling me that it was like, oh, there's the Bills getting favoritism again. Like, does anybody know the history of our team outside of Buffalo, dude? Like, has anybody here ever felt like the Bills got favoritism? Like, somebody needs to call up like Justin in 1993 and be like, hey, you know what, dude? In 30 years, you guys are gonna get favoritism, and like, I just don't feel like it. Hey, remember that Eagles game where Josh Allen got horse collared to the point where his jersey got ripped at the crest, and then he got called for intentional grounding.
Yep.
Like, tell me all about favoritism, please.
It wasn't 10 years ago where if the NFL could have gotten away with it, they would have given the Bills a Thursday night game, followed by a Saturday night game, followed by they would have crammed them 3 games within 11 days. They've done that, I think, with the travel.
Absolutely.
Remember when the Bills had to travel to Detroit?
Yeah.
There was a time period they had 3 games within 2 weeks. So we've been screwed before with scheduling. Granted, the weather played that role, but I think we're right now between Jets and Jaguars. We can't do Jets because we already know the Jets, the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Jets, and 49ers are playing week 1.
Who are?
The Ravens versus the Chiefs and the Jets versus 49ers are week 1 already. So Jets are no-go for this first week.
So Cookie says Cards. Dr. Bruce and Doug say Jags. Jamie said Jets is versus San Francisco, so that's not one. Corey's with me with the Texans. Dan says Baltimore. Patrick says Ravens are playing the Chiefs. Yep. Let's see here. Didn't know. Just about forget tonight. Okay. I
mean, look at the quarterbacks we're playing this year. A lot of brand new, high potential, high ceiling quarterbacks, and a lot of veteran, same class as Josh Allen quarterbacks. It's a hell of a quarterback season for this Bills 2024 season.
Hell yeah. Let's go Jags, man. Yeah. I think some of those that leak stuff, people weren't privy to it, so we'll go two on that one. Dr. Bruce and Doug say Jags week 1. Let's go Jags for the fan base. And that would be a good one too. A lot of ex-Bills in Jacksonville right now. Gabe Davis versus Josh Allen. God,
the guy that the Bills wanted, and Brian Thomas Jr. is going to be there.
Mm-hmm. You got Jesus. Did Mitch go there? Where'd Mitch go? He went to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then somebody else went there too. Defensively, Jordan Phillips maybe. No, he's a Giant. He went to the Giants. All right, let's see here. Doug says the London rematch. Yeah, man, that was a horrible game last year.
Can't stand those London games.
Corey said Jags have had our number the last few years. Yep, you ain't wrong. Patrick's jumping to week 3. Here he goes. First vote, Rams. So we already know week 2 is at Dolphins, Thursday night football, crybabies, blah, blah. What Jerry have for week 3?
Week 3, Jarrod wants a Monday Night Football game against the Chiefs, so that's going to give us a 10-day break in between games, which I don't mind.
I do. I hate that. I hate when they start the season and they got like way too many days off, and I'm like, God,
Yeah, right. We want.
come on.
If it would work out perfect, we'd go for
Waited.
1 p.m. games, right?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, every week.
Every
Week except for just take July off. Literally every week.
Yeah. Well,
48
24/7 Buff Pandemonium put out a poll earlier this week asking which time slots do we prefer. A lot of votes, and actually 70% of those votes said 1 p.m. So thanks for voting. We bring that to the show, guys. We like to share your information, and 70% prefer the 1 p.m. games.
Yeah.
I don't blame them.
We got Uncle James with a great take. I hope we have an easy first game because we're on a short schedule for Thursday night with Miami. I can't believe I didn't just think about that. You know what I mean? Like, they're already giving them a short week to start out.
Yep.
You know, that favoritism rearing its head again, you know?
Well, because favoritism only benefits the Bills. It never benefits anybody else.
All right,
says the Dolphins fans.
We're going to change rules here. We're going the first two because I like how these boys are moving. And Corey and Patrick both say Rams. We're going to be week 3.
All right.
You said home against the Jets.
Yeah, I'm going to get that game. I've seen it plenty of times in the past. The NFL going ahead and hurrying up and doing divisional games quick. We're one right after the next. So I'm doing the Jets and Dolphins for the week 2 and week 3.
I like it. I went the opposite approach with the weird Patriots like car jam, like traffic jam at the end, because they seem to do that. Like with one of the AFC's teams, they'll always have them play after the midpoint of the season for the first time, and then like 3 weeks later they'll play them again.
Yep.
So I'm banking on the stupidity of the NFL on that one.
And they tend to put them at the last game, the flex game, not only a divisional game to see who's winning the division, but potential playoff spot. So, I mean, it's smart on their part, but predictable.
Yeah. I went with the Colts. I like your pick with Aaron Rodgers. I think that's going to be a little bit of a storyline. If Aaron can make it past week 1, like that would be a good storyline. Yep. For me, the Colts are like one of those middling teams that I think they got a young quarterback. They got some cool pieces. Like it could be an exciting thing. It should be something that the Bills win handedly. We didn't do win-losses on this. We're going to have to do that again here once the schedule comes out. The way too early win-loss schedule prediction or win-loss.
I got it on our sheet for next week. Reaction to schedule and wins-losses. So
Hell yeah. But I don't know, man. I think the Colts, that would be a fun win for us. So let's do that. Here we go into week 4, guys. What do you guys got for week 4? Let's see.
I'm going off my 3 to 4 weeks of preparation for these players that haven't really gotten into their own. Now they're coming into their own. And this is where I think that matchup between Allen and Stroud, Diggs coming back, this high-powered offense of Houston Texans fans, I think it's a perfect end to the first quarter of the season. Bills traveling to Texans to play them there. I like it. I get pretty pumped about this stuff.
Do you?
I do.
Corey's got Jets week 4. Jarrod had Cardinals week 4. I really don't think that's going to be much of a game, to be honest. I just don't. I don't have the respect. Yeah, it should be one of those ones that we handle. If I'm looking at Jarrod's schedule there, if we come out and we're 3-1, like that is absolutely the least that we should be. If we're going to be competitive this season, we should beat the Patriots, no problem. The Dolphins, I think they handle them. They should handle them. The only question mark between the Dolphins and the Chiefs, one of those is going to be a loss, maybe. And then the Cardinals handle, 4-0 would not surprise me in the absolute least. So let's see. So you went Texans. I went the big swing. Every other week, primetime game. 49ers at home, Monday Night Football. I think that is like a marquee game against 2 of the best teams in the league. Like you're saying, by that week, things are getting figured out. Keon Coleman is becoming a star in this league. And we're going up against it, baby. That'll be the biggest test, I think, in that first quarter of the season. So I think that would be an exciting game. Everybody's yep, there it is. It's Jets. Corey says Jets. Patrick says Jets. That'd be fun, man. That secondary serious. I don't know. It'll all depend on, again, I think what the offense looks like. And I don't think you're going to get the sleepy Bills week one kind of sleepy Bills for this Jets game. I think McDermott will be hell-bent to not let that happen again.
Yep,
So,
I agree.
Let's see. Josh Cook said Texans. Bruce McKellar with the Titans week 4. Detroit. Dan's looking for. All right, here we go. Joey said, I didn't think the schedule came out till Wednesday, Thursday. It does not. There's a couple leaks, official leaks coming from the NFL. And we're just having a good time, brother Joey, trying to guess it. And I'm trying to win some beers off these fools that look alike, you know. Who you got for week 5 there, Scooter?
Well, I'm looking at the schedule, and I'm looking that we haven't had a primetime game in 2 weeks. Unfortunately for Buffalo Bills, any team that does well in their division and in the playoffs, you're going to get 5 to 6 of those. So I had to pick one. I think the Jags are a very dangerous team. I said that last year. They didn't pull up the par like I thought they would, but they still are. And I think Jags need a primetime game. So I'm giving them the Jags for Jags primetime game, but the Buffalo Bills are going to benefit from being able to play on a Sunday night football game. I love Sunday night football. If I'm going to pick any of those primetime games, it's Sunday night football.
Yeah, you know, I gotta say I'm kind of a sucker for Thursday night just because it's like I don't have to wait. But then when the game's over, I'm like, damn it. But I do like it in the moment, you know.
Yep.
Sunday night, man, I get too hyped up all day. You watch like 2 games and you're sitting there like, all right, you know, now I got to watch my game, you know. And all this already happened, so now I need, you know, or I want this to happen. So I don't know, man. Let's see here. Patrick says week 5 will be the 49ers, and that the major thing the Bills need to do this year is finish games. Hell yeah, I agree, man.
True, very true.
Corey says Cardinals week 5. And Dr. Bruce breaking my heart saying he hates Thursday night games. As a season ticket holder, maybe it's a little rougher.
True. Very true.
Joey
You could potentially make some of your money back with those games.
Yeah. Joey says, don't they owe you a beer now, Swank? No, dude, you want to know what? Jerry wiped me and Scott out this last year with beer bets. We didn't do like a crazy amount of them. They kind of like got scattered. It was like real heavy in the off season when we were bored. just a couple sprinkled through. So Jerry was the victor, man, and he did a hell of a job. So the
thing with Jerry though, Swank, is, you know, this is Jared's by the heart, guys. Everything by him is like gut and by the heart, and it's like he's very optimistic, so he'll go with what he feels he wants to happen. And he does that with his bets. Like, he'll make some crazy bets, and for some reason he wiped the floor with us this year with that kind of instinct. So it's a pain in the ass sometimes, but the guy follows his heart for real.
Hey man, kid knows it. He's all right. Let's see. You did Jags. Yep. I did at Rams. I think that'll be a fun one. I don't really think a whole lot of that team anymore, but it'll be interesting to see. You know, the Bills going to LA. It's always a fun time. So I wouldn't sleep on them, but I'm also I just middling. I think they're middling. Yep. Jerry had the Titans. That's a fun thing. What do we got? What do we got over here? Corey says Cardinals. Patrick says Niners.
Someone else choose something.
Dr. Bruce said Jarrod won the beer.
He won the beer. He sure did.
Yo, hit us up in the comments. We're picking the schedule for next year. Jared, Scott, and myself already picked ours. We're kind of running through it. We're letting the 24/7 Buff fam, pick their own as well. And we're here on week 5. We got to vote for Miami and the Cardinals right now, and the Niners.
And the Niners, yep.
So
Jared does have the Titans in week 5. When did you have them? So, like, generally speaking, in the last bunch of years, they have played the Titans within the first like 3, 4, 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Maybe Jarrod went with trend there.
I haven't talked to the wife about it, but I think I'd like to go to an away game this year. If all
Hey,
the
man,
cards played out
set
right.
a vacation around it. Hell yeah.
Yeah. It'd be fun.
But that's New England, the Colts, Detroit, LA, Houston, Seattle's nice.
I'll tell you what, man. I like Nashville. Too bad that one's home.
That one's home.
We got Colts in Denver. Jesus, Denver. I don't think we're playing Denver, are we? No. Nope, Charlotte. We're not playing Denver. That's okay, though.
It's all right.
Going to Detroit, Houston. Hell yeah. All right, you guys. Here we go. Let's go. We'll go Cardinals.
All right.
Cardinals for them. Dr. Bruce says Monday Night Football Chiefs for Week 5. Corey says going to Detroit, even if we lose, I won't be mad. I'll be mad, but it'd be a good time still. Mike V saying, hey, I'm late. What's up, Mafia? What's up, Mike V? Picking the schedule for the fan base right now, brother. All right, let's see. Week 6 we're at. Jared's got Colts. Scooter's got at Patriots. And I got home versus the Jets. I want to make Aaron Rodgers retire week 6. That's what I want. You think at Patriots, man? What do you think? What do you think about that team, Scott? They're like a juggernaut, right?
Yeah, I know. Well, they got May as their quarterback they drafted, so that'll be the perfect time for him to finally come in and start. And I think the Bills will wreak havoc on him. At some point, they got to make the move, right? You draft high a quarterback, you gotta play him at some point. So
I want to make a T-shirt with his face, and then Mac Jones, and then the other dude, because all 3 of those dudes, just like I said the draft night, they look exactly alike. It's like Robert Kraft has a type, dude. He's like, I want white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. I want him to look like Bing Crosby. I want him to be pure. It's crazy.
Well, right now it's Jacoby Brissett, so he looks nothing like any of those guys.
Yeah,
Joe Milton is also a quarterback that they grabbed from Tennessee, who's got a strong arm. So they drafted 2 quarterbacks in this draft.
Yeah,
that is very interesting. They're desperate.
They need to. Yeah,
they have to.
I can't believe they didn't take a swing on a free agent. They had a ton of money. They should have offered Lamar a package like he could not refuse. I think that would have been the move. But I'm glad they didn't. And here's to 20 more years.
Yep, bring it on.
Patrick, he's looking for the Colts. Doug says Rodgers will be out week 1 after the Niners terrorize him. Hell yeah, that could be absolutely true. Wouldn't that be something? Dr. Bruce is saying 49ers. So we got Colts, 49ers, Titans from Corey. Charlotte says, sorry, can't see. It's okay. Don't worry about it, Charlotte. I tried to make it as big as I possibly could. She says Pats. Let's see here.
A lot of variety.
Yeah, everybody wants somebody different, man.
So the fam has a home game starting off, 2 away games, 2 home games.
It's got to be the way, right?
Yeah, this year we have a lot of away games. This year's our 9 away game as opposed to the 8. So we're definitely on the road more this year.
How about the Colts? Patrick wanted the Colts. Let's do that, man.
Colts. Okay. So there's a home game now, or at Colts. I wrote at Klotz. That won't work.
Yep. Josh said Colts too. So there we go. We're good on it.
All right.
Harold Fuller says over under on how many years until the Patriots fire their coach. What do you got, Scott?
Jerod Mayo. He's come up through the system.
No, their coach.
Yeah. Patriots coach is the ex-linebacker.
Oh, Jesus. I thought you were talking about I thought you said their quarterback.
Oh, no. Oh, that's May.
Mm-hmm.
Drake May. Yeah, it is. It's an ex-player, Jerod Mayo. Come up through the system. So he's someone that The GM Elliot Wolf has come up through the system. Belichick obviously brought him up through. I don't know if it's tough. I don't think long. If they lose, I think he's got 2 seasons. Make that quick answer for you.
Yeah, I mean, Robert Kraft, I don't think he's gonna simmer on anybody very long. They're gonna be a 500 team for the next 2 seasons. Like I can't see it any other way. But
and Alex Van Pelt's the offensive coordinator, so it might be one of those situations where if Alex Van Pelt can get that offense going somehow, yet the team still struggles as a whole, he might be the guy that they replaces Mayo.
I can see that, yeah. But I mean, yeah, they had that dude, like it was in his contract. Like he was waiting in the wings. They didn't even go on any sort of hunt, like, or interview anybody. It was like, this is our dude. Here he is.
Yep.
You know. I don't know. Let's see. Week 7, Jarrod has at Lions. You have a bye. I have a home against the Jags. What do we got over here? What's going on over here, huh?
I'm going off of Swank just because we had such a late bye last year.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see the Bills, and I like late buys, to be honest with you.
Yep.
Helps for recovery of injury, helps to kind of replenish your playbook. And Joe Brady obviously came in, so we needed that bye week. But I think it's going to be an early one this year just to counteract that late one last year. So that's why I'm going week 7.
I like that.
It's going to be a long-ass stretch, I'll tell you.
Yeah. I was waiting another week on my bye, but the Jags, I think, would be a good game to go into the bye, and then coming back for me week 9 at the Ravens, Monday Night Football. I think we're going to start lightning rounding this. Corey said Patriots. First team up gets it.
First team up?
Here you go. You pick home or away.
That's not a problem. We could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, right, we're spending a lot of time on each.
Yeah, yeah. And we've pretty much hit all of these matchups.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we got Patriots?
Yep. You pick home or away.
I'm going to go. Let's go.
Corey says home.
Okay.
I like it. We're going week 8. Jarrod has home against the Jets. Scott has away against the Jets. And I have a bye.
Bye.
I like the week 8 bye. I do agree. Scott and I were talking off the air right before we went live about the early bye. I do agree that the Bills have seemed to have the later bye here as of these last couple of years. And maybe that's like, I don't know. Is it because they're more competitive or just whatever? I can't imagine that the people that pick the schedule decide that like the Bills need to have a break towards the end. They've never given us a break ever. So, but I do agree that it seems like it's been later these last couple of years. So I'm there with it. Like an early bye. Absolutely. Josh Cook says bye. There you go, buddy. Week 7.
That's bad.
Or no, week 8 bye. Yeah. Hell yeah.
I went Jets because I love a divisional game coming off after the bye. And I think I wanted a prime time because that generally what happens. But I think you travel to New York for a nice for a nice 1:00 spot here after the bye would be perfect.
Why not?
Right now we're itching for it. We're itching for football now after that bye. So
hell yeah. Let's see here. I'm gonna give one to Charlotte here, man. Charlotte says at Ravens. She wanted the bye week 9, but she was thinking at Ravens week 8. But I'm gonna put her right with me at Ravens right there. You think that's gonna be a primetime game, Charlotte?
Swank, I think it almost has to be.
Mm-hmm.
This matchup, Allen and Lamar haven't played each other a lot, but when they have, they've been close games. Actually, they haven't been really high-scoring games either.
Yeah, they've been close games that the Bills usually win, right?
Yep, and it's usually a very exciting game throughout all 4 quarters. Yeah, the Bills usually win that one. And that out of the quarterbacks that have met in that class, these two have not had a primetime game yet. So I think it's perfect, especially after your bye week.
Hell yeah.
That's good. I find it interesting, though, that we all picked a Monday Night Football game for this week. So Niners are a good matchup. Jags would be a good matchup, both teams.
The fam did too. Charlotte said, I asked her if it was a primetime. She said yes. She said Monday night. So there it is.
Nice. We'll put it on there.
Yeah. Patrick Hughes says the NFL kicks us in the nuts. Ravens week 9, then Chiefs week 10. Dude, do it. Make it so, Scooter. That's what the fan base wants right now.
What they want?
They want
the
Chiefs. They want Ravens,
okay.
Chiefs. Boom, boom. Ravens Monday night. Is that a primer? It's got to be. Double primers back to back. They'd do that to us too. What do you guys think?
Let's give it a Sunday night football game there, guys.
Listen, let me tell you, what time would that Sunday night football game be?
8:20.
Probably.
Here we go, folks. We're in overtime.
That's right. We're in overtime. Thanks, Patrick, for reminding me there, because I was ready to not hit the button because I was so into what we were talking about.
Well, no, that's nice. Sometimes they match up those later games, the Monday night games, and give the other team a break by giving them the later game or the next day game. So that makes sense.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's a good deal.
Yeah.
Man, it's gonna screw them up though. But I mean, that whole so what the fan base has right now, dude, this whole week 3 to the bye week stretch, wow. That's pretty easy goings right there, man. That Rams game would probably be a late game, as far as 4, right?
If it's at Rams, that'll be a 4:25 game.
Yeah. Jets will be 1. Cardinals, that'll be 4. Colts, that might be a 1. Patriots, that'll be a 1. So that's familiar territory. You're starting to get into sleep in
Comfort.
A little bit.
Sunday sessions at 11:30.
Hell yeah, bro.
Hell yeah. For those of you who don't know, they're watching the K-Gun Report tonight. Swank, myself, and Ryan Thomas from the Thomas Take Sports Podcast, all part of the Buff Fan Base. We do a Sunday sessions. The Buff Fan Base is in 24/7's pregame show. We're on an hour and a half before every game, and we talk about actives, inactives, and our last-minute thoughts about the game. But it's a fun time. It's a fun way to get that hour over with before the game, all the hype, and it's a really good time. Plus, we call it Sunday sessions because we usually have our first drink at that time.
That's right. That's myself and this guy over here, Mr. Scooter Magooter, and Ryan Thomas from the Thomas Takes Sports Podcast, another content creator from the Buff Fan Base. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I like Sunday sessions. I historically hate doing anything on Sunday other than watching football or just relaxing. I do a lot during the week, so I'm always man, I don't want to do nothing, especially during football. And when this show came up, it was kind of but I really enjoy it because it's you're waiting for the game, you're doing some little stuff, you're getting all your shit together, and then we sit down, we hang out for half hour, 45 minutes. All of a sudden, you're 20 minutes to kickoff, and it's a great time. I love it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Corey says Seattle, week 11. I like it, Corey. I like it. Give it to him. Make it so.
You got it.
Doug says, give me all the 1 o'clock games. Yeah, dude. I know it. Unfortunately, that is going to be a lost art. 1 o'clock game, dude. Oh, man.
Yep. I had Rams, had to put them in somewhere. That's why I put them there.
Yep. I had
Jarrod
Cardinals.
also had the Rams there. There you go.
I don't know. If you're looking at this schedule, and guys, go ahead and hit us up with who you think week 12 should be. Look at all these opponents, man, home game wise. You go into are you or we going to at least one game this year?
Yes, and it's got to be a yes.
And what home game would you be most into going to?
I'll tell you what, if that Chiefs game is not a primetime game, can you imagine if they scheduled it at 1 o'clock?
It's definitely a primetime game, dude. There's no way.
I'm just saying, could you imagine? I do love divisional games, though.
Mm-hmm.
You can never beat a divisional week, regardless of what records are. The fans are walking down Abbott Avenue, whatever streets there are. They're walk by. It's crazy no matter what. And that's always a nice, hypeful game to get messed up at, drunk a little bit, a little tipsy.
Yeah.
And plus, they're generally earlier. I mean, we have three options of teams. So generally within the first 3 weeks, we're playing one of those guys at home. So you're guaranteed nice weather.
I'm going to tell you, man, I'm all about that. I've never seen the Chiefs in Buffalo. I've also never seen the 49ers. And I got to tell you, that makes, I don't know, that just does something for me. I don't know if it's like the 90s nostalgia or just the competition or whatever, but I think that game's going to be electric as hell. You know,
Oh, yeah.
all of them aren't, but like that one is like for me, like brings it full circle. You know, I could get into going to that game. I can get into going to any game, but you know, the
But you're right,
Jags
the
game, I think
nostalgia of
that'd be
it.
good too.
Niners haven't changed their colors much. They're still got that beautiful gold and burgundy color. It doesn't matter what sports you watch. You see those uniforms come on the field, and you're like, those are nice uniforms. And the Bills have been wearing their whites a lot lately at home, so that'd be a sharp looking game.
Hell yeah. All right, I think we got Patrick Hughes saying he didn't think that the Bills play on Thanksgiving, but the 49ers play on Black Friday. We got Scooter and I were down the same line of thinking here. Lions, Thursday night football, Thanksgiving week 13. Jerry was he said at Texans, but the week before he had the 49ers Sunday night football. You had the Chiefs Monday night football. I had just a regular ass home game against the Patriots. What do we do here? Because we got Corey saying Texans. We got Patrick saying not playing Thanksgiving, but playing the 49ers on Black Friday, which I would think would be a week 13 game, right? Yeah, because it'd have to be after Thanksgiving.
Yep.
So let's do both. Texans on 12, and then we'll go with Patrick for the 49ers Thanksgiving week. Those are going to be great games. I'm really looking forward to it. I think like when you're looking at going to a home game, dude, you're kind of looking at like who do you want to brag to your family, your future family about like who you saw in that stadium. Like, I don't have a lot of good ones. I got Boomer Esiason getting his clock cleaned by Bruce Smith. That's my crown jewel, you know. Other than that, I saw Eli beat the shit out of the Bills after halftime in a ridiculous weather game. I don't know.
I'm a quarterback guy, so my two biggest memories of football at Buffalo is Jim Kelly threw an interception to an Atlanta Falcons corner, and Kelly took the angle, chased him down, tackled him at about the 40-yard line, and snapped his leg in half with his tackle.
Yeah.
So I remember that. And then Doug Flutie against the Jaguars, mishap play. He kept the ball, went around the edge, scored a touchdown. Bills win the game. So Those are my two favorite memories. Kelly is a guy I always loved, and Flutie was just a mighty mouse. He did it all, and he won. And the Bills screwed him out of a playoff wins in this potential Super Bowl. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks, Wade. Or thanks, Ralph, or whoever. Man, that's a good show. We should do that, like top 3 favorite games you ever been to or something.
Oh, yeah. We should.
I really, the last game I was at was the Dolphins game. Kyle took me there. Kyle Gobe for my birthday. The view from 142. Check out the blog on 247buffandemonium.com. One of my dearest friends, we went there for my birthday, and he's a season ticket holder. And man, that game was gnarly. Just the Bills racking up points. Once the pendulum went the one way, it was over. And it was so much fun to go to. I was at the EJ game where they beat the Panthers, and the last minute game winner to Stevie Johnson. That was a good time. I was also at the game where the Steelers came down and Stevie dropped that touchdown pass. So having been at both of those games, the Panthers game was way more enjoyable, especially after seeing that. So Corey said Dolphins week 14. Oh, no, too late. Patriots, we got them in there.
I saw
Charla.
Charla's winner.
Yep.
Yep. You want to go Dolphins with that next week there?
Yeah, go ahead. Wait. Charla says Lions week 15.
Who came first? Chicken or the egg?
Let's see. Corey said Dolphins 14. Charla said Pats. No, I think it's good. Yeah, Lions.
We're doing Lions here?
Yep. Corey said Lions too. Yep.
Okay.
Nicely done.
So we have 2 home games left and 1 away game. I like the way that finishes off.
Yeah.
I went Lions. I think that's going to be the Thursday night game. I think
Mm-hmm.
they come back and play the Patriots, Seahawks, and then I think that the tough games begin here the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So I started it off with the Dolphins coming to Buffalo for a cold game.
I don't think that, like, I agree what you're saying with this, but I also just don't think that they can help themselves to not make the Dolphins and the Bills play the last game of the season.
Yeah, flex it out a little bit.
Yeah, and so that's why I picked Week 18 for them.
Okay.
But I absolutely get it. I don't want to say this because it could be a trap game. Can we say that this early right now?
Sure.
That Colts game, man, Week 18, that makes me scared. That, like,
Right.
I'm less scared about the Dolphins and the Ravens, but that Colts game, dude, if we needed to win that, I would be like, motherfucker, dude.
And you never know. The Colts might be in a situation where they have to win it too. So
Yeah.
it could be tougher than it needs to be.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
Yep,
because
I hear ya.
Jacksonville's always gonna like let everybody hang in. Corey says Dolphins Week 16 for them.
Okay.
And that's the same you had it. I had just to recap quick, Titans Week 14. I had Sunday Night Football against the Chiefs Week 15 because I figured they'd start to screw the Bills earlier at the end of the year with the Chiefs that night, and then the Patriots again 4 weeks after they'd already played the Patriots for the first time.
Yep, right, because that's what they like to do.
Mm-hmm. And Seahawks, and I went with the Miami flex the same way Jerry did actually for my closer because I figure they're going to be the two fighting it out for the East. So
See, I went with the Ravens. I figured that we'd get our 6th primetime game, and it was still a week that mattered, especially when it came to the divisional, number 1 seed or even number 2 seed. So I had us playing the Ravens on a Sunday Night Football game.
So I figured they'd give us 3 AFC games that really wouldn't matter, and then just to add a bunch of drama, throw an NFC game in there with the Seahawks just to screw with us so that we wouldn't be in control of our own destiny,
Right. We had to watch everybody else win that week and us beat an NFC team. I see. I hear you. Titans Week 17.
Yep, Titans 17 they got. And then that would leave the Jets, I believe, Week 18 for them. I like this by committee stuff, man. You guys killed it. Thank you so much. We're at 1074 live right now for the K-Gun Report right here on this beautiful Tuesday evening. All right, so just to recap, you guys, Week 1, Jags, home, at Dolphins. Week 2, Thursday Night Football, at Rams. Week 3, home against the Jets, home against the Cardinals, at Colts. Week 6, home against the Patriots. You guys picked a bye Week 8. At Ravens, Monday Night Football for Week 9. Another back-to-back primetime versus Chiefs Sunday Night Football. At Seahawks, Week 11. At Texans, Week 12. 49ers, Black Friday for Thanksgiving week. At Patriots, at Lions. And then rolling into Week 16, home against the Dolphins. Then home against the Titans. And then away to end the season at the Jets. Sounds as reasonable as anything else that I've seen or read. So,
I know, right? And at the end of the day, no one really knows. We'll find out tomorrow. But again, it's a way to have fun doing it. It's a beer bet, so can't wait to cash in on that. But it's an anticipation. More and more fans every year because one of us is cashing in on a beer bet.
You mean like cash your beer into me? Is what you mean?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Cha-ching, gulp, cha-ching. But, like I said in the beginning of the show, millions of fans wait for this day because they get to plan what games are going to. And I can't wait to just sit down on a Sunday, wake up, have breakfast, do Sunday sessions, and watch the 1 p.m. games again. Hopefully there's more than just 6 because there were a couple of games last year where they force-fed a 4:25 game that should have been a 1 p.m. game. So hopefully they stay away from that this year.
Gotcha. Charla says, we need another prime time. And when Charlotte says it, I gotta believe it, bro.
All right, pick one.
What do you guys think, man?
We got a nice stretch between 3 and 8, and 14 to 18. We got a nice stretch.
Yep. We each had 6, right? Yeah.
Swank, you only had 5.
No, I had the flex.
Oh, your flex. Yep.
Yeah, me and Jarrod both had the flex on week 18, so that pushed us to 6. So Mike V also said we're definitely playing the Dolphins on Thursday night. Couldn't see what week. That was reported by WGR. Well, so there you go, guys. Well, yeah, that's week 2, brother. Yep, we already got that. That's away at Dolphins Thursday night. Okay. Corey says Lions week 15 feels like it would be a Thursday night game. I could see that, man. They'd both be fighting for a spot right there, right? That'd be good. Good for views. I'm looking at that stretch week 3 to the bye week, and I can't see one of those that I'd want to see on a Friday game. I mean, unless I was a fan of either the Bills or any of those teams. Maybe the Rams. That doubles them up right there.
Well, the thing is, sometimes you get forced into playing a team that has to have a primetime game. Oh, this team stinks, but give the Cardinals a primetime game. Let them play Buffalo kind of situation.
Charlotte says she thinks the Texans would be a prime timer. I don't think that's a bad get either. God, man, if they went prime time week 12 and then go into Black Friday, ugh.
They'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 primetime games in 7 weeks.
Yeah.
8 weeks.
I don't know. That's up to you guys. You guys, let us know. If that's what you really want to do, we'll do it. I mean, Jared's buying you all beers because he wasn't here tonight. So
Yep. Part of the deal.
Here we go. 1098, guys. Can we get up to 1100 before we hit these final thoughts? We went 15 over because we're unprofessional and the Buff fan base is a bunch of great guys. Here we go. 1100 right there. Watching live right now on a sweet Tuesday night in the off season. Thank you guys so much.
It's a beautiful thing.
Corey says Cardinals could be a Thursday night game. Want to switch that one? Yeah, what the hell? That'll divvy it up right there, week 5.
We going Thursday night game?
Yeah. What do you think? Thursday, Monday, Sunday? What do you think?
We've already got 2 Thursdays and a Friday, so give us another Sunday night or a Monday night.
There you go. I'd say Monday. Well, that'd be yeah. Why not?
It'd just be weird to see the Cardinals play on any primetime game, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Murray, I guess. I don't know.
There you go. Yeah, right.
Sunday, Corey says.
All right, changing it up.
Patrick says, primetime K-Gun report live from Miami Thursday week 2. Yeah, I said it. Hell yeah, Patrick.
That would be something
Don't
else.
threaten me with a good time, bro.
We can invite some of the Miami super fans on the show.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So all they can do is scream. You don't make sense. Complain about one player or coach, and then 2 weeks later say that they're the best thing since Tyreek Hill. I saw that, Swank.
Yeah, you like that one? Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the knockoff Nicky Smokes. Yeah.
Yep.
You know what it took me to find that tweet? I just searched Vic Fangio in his tweet, like his profile, and it was literally the second thing that popped up that he said it was the best signing since Tyreek Hill. So
Very funny.
Patrick says, Swank, you can hit Disney on the way back to New York. Man, here's an unpopular opinion. I've been there. Not a big fan. Like, mostly not a big fan of, like, crowds like that, I guess. But, like, just didn't do a lot for me. I did, like, was it Universal? Is that where, like, the Indiana Jones thing and all that stuff is? That was kind of cool.
I believe so.
Yeah. But I went on, like, the Tower Terror and stuff like that. It was in, like, early 30s, I think. That was the first time I ever went down there. Have you been down there?
I was there when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like 12, 13 years old. Tower of Terror was fairly new at that point. And my dad, who has 2 rods down the middle of his back, could not stand to watch his kids not want to go on a ride that he had to go on. So that sign that says, have you had any back surgeries or anything like that? Totally ignored it. Kicked ass and went on it with us.
Oh, Jesus.
We're like, Dad, should you be riding this?
Like,
Shut up and get on the ride.
Shut up.
But just once. I have no desire to go again. No.
You'll bring your kids.
Yeah, I mean, the forced family fun part you got to do. But
Nick, who looks like a new name, says, ready for the year to start. Hell yeah, man. I was just talking about that with my wife, and she's like, really? You're already ready? I'm like, man, we do this every week. the draft hit and free agency and all that stuff, and I was just like, oh man. That's why I stayed up watching highlights last night. Just can't, I don't know. Can't not get over
it.
Go ahead.
It doesn't help that we do this every week because it makes you itch to get closer and closer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Guys, we're at 11:22. It's 9:20 p.m. Don't forget, we're part of the Buff Fan Base Network and also sponsored by 26 Shirts. Go support 26 Shirts. Go to 26shirts.com. Give them all your money. They're doing great things over there. Del Reed and the gang hitting up some sweet threads. Yeah, I think we're gonna close this one out, man. You know, it's been a great night. Thank you guys for hanging with me and Scooter, keeping it chill, you know, and picking the sketch and all that stuff. And I'm gonna throw it over to my buddy Scoot, and he's gonna tell you what everything's about.
Yeah, guys, thanks for joining us. Like Swank said, he threw out the numbers over 1,100. That's awesome. Thanks to the Instagram watchers. We're new. Keep following us, and like I said, share, tag, and let's grow on that fan page. But Buff fan base almost at 200,000. That's amazing. Hit them up. The next show is going to be obviously the schedule recap, and we're going to go pick wins and losses. The past couple years, I think we've been pretty good. We're a little more realistic and gave a couple losses rather than our continuing undefeated seasons that we've been picking. But we'll be a little more realistic, as optimistic as we are. But thanks, guys, for joining us. It's the lull time of year. This is the stuff that we like to do and have fun predicting things. All the stats, all the players that we have come in and we are hyped and excited for. Nothing comes true until we see the numbers. It's just being optimistic. It's being hopeful for these young men that come in and try to restart their careers. And I can't wait to witness it. And when it happens, you give each other high fives when the W's come on every Wednesday, Sundays, Mondays, or Thursdays. But we watch one game at a time. That's the way it is. And I can't wait till the season to start. Go Bills.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, go Bills. Guys, your participation, just insane. As always, your viewership. Thank you so much for supporting the show and 24/7 as a whole, the group, all that stuff. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that. And spread the word, man. Tell everybody. Tell your granny, tell your uncle, tell your cousin, tell your brother-in-law. Just don't tell your ex-wife, man, because it's too much fun. It's way too much fun. We got some big shows coming up. Make sure you're tuning in every Tuesday. The biggest one we got in the distance here is June 4th. The one, the only, the legend, Mr. Don Beebe is going to be on the panel with us. And we're really excited for that. I think he's actually the sixth player. Would we have to count? Fifth, sixth. He's gracious enough. He's got a new book out. He's coming to hang out, answer you guys' questions. So mark that one down in your calendar, man. We're really excited. We're a couple of 90s Buffalo kids, and he was one of my favorite wide receivers at the time, for sure. I mean, if you're ranking them, it's probably Andre, James Lofton, and Don Beebe, top three for me, from that era. So,
well, hell yeah.
I don't know. I'm very stoked about this, and he's been very gracious. So make sure you get your comments ready, your questions, and we have good luck with ex players on the show, man. Like they're just so humble and giving and responsive, and what you would expect, what you would want, and what you would expect. So make sure you circle that one in your calendar, man. June 4th, it'll be a great time. Guys, man, appreciate where we're at. Appreciate every single win, every single loss. Appreciate the offseason leading into the excitement of a new, fresh season and a new look offense. We say it every year. Things are going to change. People are going to come. They're going to go. But know you're competitive, and we didn't have that for a long time. So we appreciate the hell out of you. Thank you so much for being part of the K-Gun on a Tuesday night. And go Bills.
Hell yeah. Thanks, Swank. Go Bills.
Go!